Today is a big day. So as you saw from the thumbnail and or the title, I have reached 1,000 days logged in, and Epic has ever so generously given me 5 lightning in a bottle. I'm looking forwards to tomorrow, aka tonight at 8 p.m. and of course day 1008 for 1,000 V-Bucks. Now, throughout this video, I will be showcasing all my schematics, my heroes, my resources, everything like that. And maybe at the end I might showcase my Battle Royale stuff as well. Starting off with heroes, I will sort these by class first, so you can see here are all my soldiers. I'm not going to go over everything in too much detail, but if there's anything super notable, I'm probably going to say something, such as Rescue Trooper Ramirez and Breakbeat Wildcat, the two soldiers that I use the most, and yes, they are supercharged. So now I'm going to scroll down kind of slowly so you can see everything. I do have a lot of heroes in total that are not leveled up, or 77 or possibly lower, and these are usually heroes I don't use that often, or heroes that I'm too lazy to actually level up. And yes, I'm looking at these two very specifically, and I guess these two as well. I should also note that I do have the Chaos Agent hero from the new lab dungeon. He's actually really fun with reloading with abilities, but I don't know, I haven't used them a whole lot. Next is the Constructors. You can see my favorite heroes through each category. These are just because the favorite heroes are easier to find when building loadouts. Just thought I should mention that. Now, just like the soldiers, I have some that aren't leveled up. I have stuff that are 77 or lower. These are still just things I don't use often, and you're going to see that as a recurring trend. I have Stoneheart Pharah at 133. I used one supercharger, and that's because Stoneheart Pharah was is one of the ninjas that I used the most, aside from Paleo Luna and or Assassin Sarah. And while I love playing with melee weapons, playing with bows is so much fun, and Stoneheart Pharah makes bows just so much more fun to play with. Now, you'll see I have Lynx at 130, and I don't use Lynx. Aside from Mythic Storm King, I don't use Lynx at all. Of course, I have Lynx at 134 Mythic Storm King, and I don't recycle Lynx because it's part of collecting. But yeah, I don't use Lynx at all. Scrolling down, you'll see I have all these other heroes. I've never used Mermonster Ken or Piercing Lotus Edge. Never used Monks, Sarah Hotep. I've used Swashbuckler Keelhaul, and this might be a duplicate, but I don't know. Thunderstrike Mari is a hero that I've never used. Then I have Energy Thief and Dim-Mak Mari. These are both base game, I believe, or maybe one of these is an expansion hero, but nonetheless, heroes that I don't really use. And I have the Battle Breakers Razor, and you'll see the other Battle Breakers hero in the Outlanders tab. Starting up at the top, these are the favorite Outlanders. A lot of these are fragment ability heroes, like Fragment Flurry Jess or Gumshoe, Jilly Teacup, Jingle Jess, Stare Down, Old Glory. You know, basically Outlanders I use a lot. Gunblazer Celti should be favored. I don't know why I forgot to do that. Trailblazer Quinn is another that I use often. And of course, I have both Clip and Archaeologist because I use them for farming. You'll see I don't have a lot of Outlanders, or at least I don't have a lot of them leveled up. That's because I don't play Outlanders that much. And hey look, it's Bloodfinder AC. I don't know why I want to point that out, there was no reason. This is the other hero from Battle Breakers. The Razor, the Ninja, you get at level 20, and this guy you get at level 50 in Battle Breakers. I got to level 51 before I realized that I could claim him, so maybe I'm just dumb. Moving on to my hero loadouts. And I'm already selected at 8. So I may as well count down. So this is a farming loadout, of course. I don't use this in regular missions. I only use this in private sessions for farming resources. Archaeologist is my commander because the last time I used this was for resupply, which is the other use for this loadout. And I can basically spam my anti-material charge with this. So often I will switch my commander to clip for the commander perk use here, with the 100% chance to drop the additional crafting ingredients. Super useful when I'm farming for specific things, but this is mostly just resupply and basic farming. Ice King, I have to admit that this is for jail building, but I also have to say that I only jail build in private sessions, so I don't use this loadout that often. It's great for like kind of rushing through some higher level like retrieve the datas that have good rewards. It's actually how I stack up on resources a lot, and you'll see my resources tab later. Of course, a shotgun loadout with shrapnel headhunter for the 50% shotgun damage. I use this, of course, for shotguns, and I've been running the Tiger Jaw and the Pop Shot a lot recently, so those are the main two that I've been playing with. Slot 5 is usually open, or whatever I feel like, and for some reason I have Beetlejuice here. Confuses me because I haven't used pistols in a while. I have Mega Base Kyle. This is basically just, well, my slot 4 is mainly just any constructor loadouts. Usually it's base Kyle, but right now I have Mega Base for AFK Wargames. Mostly for an AFK material grinder for wood, brick, and metal. I watched a video on it and had a friend help me build it. Basically, I can get quick building materials for kind of just hanging out of my Canny Valley home base. Pretty useful. My slot 3 is usually an Outlander loadout, and typically, I might have actually just hit my microphone. I'm gonna have to repeat that. Like I was saying, slot 3 is typically an Outlander loadout. Right now I have a Jingle Just Happy Holidays build for spamming Teddy, but usually this is where I would have a pistol loadout, like Beetlejuice over here. Then, of course, my slot 2 currently is Stoneheart Farah, and this is a loadout for bows. Although the weird part is that I haven't used bows recently either. Usually I have a melee loadout with Paleo Luna or Assassin Sarah here, but right now I have Stoneheart Farah. Then I, of course, have a Rescue Trooper Ramirez Totally Rockin' Out build. This is because my main playstyle is very assault rifle and SMG focused. So, of course, I would have a loadout to kind of maximize on either of those two weapons. Defenders that nobody asked to see. I have Val and, you know, not going to go over everything because I don't use a lot of defenders, because I'm kind of trying to get ones that have the like good kind of perks on them. Like Val already has great perks, and then, you know, this gunslinger has decent perks. Sniper defender has decent perks as well, but I don't think most of my other defenders have decent perks. This one's okay at the very least. And then the two epic defenders, I believe Super Deluxe Edition. These have good perks, I just noticed. But these are okay. Nonetheless, I don't actually use these, but someday I might. Of course, I have the upgrades maxed out, and the research and fort stats is also maxed out. Before I go over everything else here, I want to kind of show my resources. Whoa, I'm low on drops of rain. Could have sworn I had like 1,000 yesterday. That's weird. I'm also low on amp up, which is also kind of strange. These are my resources, and yes, I have nearly 50,000 weapon designs. I'm confused about that as well, considering how much of a difference it is to the training and trap designs. or training manuals and trap designs. I have 500 plus XP boosts and teammate XP boosts. I never use these. And I have 5 legendary troll stash llama tokens. These can be used to get legendary troll stash llamas. I believe these are all just from ventures, but I literally never use them. I still have hero recruitment vouchers sitting around, and I have 1 weapon research voucher sitting around. I still don't know what to do with them because I don't need anything at the moment. I'm gonna have to get more drops of rain, in addition to everything else. I am level 232 in the collection book, and I'm not going to go over everything because the collection book is huge, but I have base game ranged weapons, assault rifles, and shotguns maxed out, as well as snipers and explosive weapons. On pistols, I'm missing the legendary Judge, the legendary Haywire Storm, which I thought I had one of those sitting around, the legendary Falcon, and I have a tiny instrument of death that's not slotted in here. Under SMGs, I'm only missing a typewriter because I'm not going to research this with the voucher. I would rather wait until this comes back so I can spend gold on it instead. Under melee weapons, you'll see I actually have everything maxed out, and I only found this out yesterday, and I'm still confused. My storage is the least interesting thing you could possibly imagine, being only filled with like crafting materials and building materials, so I'm going to ignore that. Under my backpack, I do have not a lot of weapons. This potshot and this buzzcut were given to me by random players. This one being a joke buzzcut for fire rates, and of course this just being a supercharged potshot. I don't really know what to do with this yet, so I'm just letting it sit around. Under melees, you can see I don't have anything crazy. I have actually way less melees than most people would imagine, I feel like. And I have these 2 blue melees. Kind of just ignore these. It's an inside joke between myself and a friend. Nobody asked to see my ammo, but here it is anyways. I typically try to remain very kind of filled with ammo. This is actually making me very upset. So is that. Traps, I have a lot of them, and I use these to store more materials very often, but I also use these for missions, obviously. But basically, kind of just a tip that most players will probably always say, but crafting traps saves a lot of inventory space, because see, just 1 stack of 106 broadsides is using 400 char black mineral powder, 1,400 planks, and 400 sleek mechanical. And you can see if I select all my broadsides and my ceiling drops, it's using over 7,000 planks, 2,000 sleek mechanical, 1,200 peaky twine, and 800 char black mineral powder. I'm not going to select everything because that'll take 3,000 years, just like Schematics will. So let's get this over with. Starting with ranged weapons, you can see the 3 mythic ranged weapons. I have the melees as well, of course, as well as the Founder's Revolt and a duplicate Storm King's Wrath. Now, I'm going to unfortunately have to go over everything for perks, but I'm going to try not to take too long on this, because this is the part that I'm afraid of, because I have a lot of schematics and I'm already well aware of that. Yes, I have 2 pain trains, energy and water. The Pop Shot, Pulsar 9000, the Rat King, 2 floor flushers here, and then the 3rd one down there. Browbeater, because why not? Like, this is an incredible shotgun. The Terminator, weird choice that I assume most people would say, but I actually really like it. Silent Spectre, the Scrapshot Bow, Santa's Little Helper, the Rat-a-tat-tat. Like I said, my 3rd floor flusher. This one's water, the other 2 fire and nature. The Pepper Sprayer, my own pot shots. This one's physical for MSK. Or, well, I still haven't changed it. I don't run MSK anymore. The Powder Keg, Tiger Jaw, vacuum tube bow, and the Vintertech Seeker. The Wraith that I never use. Xenon bow, however people pronounce it, because I don't know, because I hear both. Argon assault rifle, bald eagle. This is like the Obliterator as a pistol, less damage and doesn't destroy structures quickly, but it's like still the equivalent of getting hit by a train, I would imagine. A Blizzard Blitzer with 44% bonus damage against fire. This works pretty well for waterlocked weapons. I have 3 Bobcats, each of these being energy, nature, and water respectively. And above you probably saw that I have a 131 with fire. The bundle bus, this isn't one I use for MSK. I had a friend give me like 2 for that, and his were already maxed out before I had mine at 106. The Heartbreaker was a bit of a joke, but it's actually surprisingly good. You get 30% more weapon damage when aiming down the sights, which is obviously something you're going to do when you're using a sniper rifle. Hacksaw is really fun. Ginger Blaster is also really fun. The Frostbite, once again, water element and 44% bonus against fire enemies. I used Core Reperk to do this, and it's not awful. But I was also running a sniper focused loadout, so I don't know. Easter egg launcher, Duet, which I've been playing with a lot recently. The aforementioned Candy Corn LMG. Both this and the Ginger Blaster have healing pickups that anyone on your team can grab or pick up just by running over them. Heal some health, pretty fun. Buzzcut that I still haven't gotten to play with much because I only just recently leveled this up. I have a energy hemlock and a nature hemlock. I just like the hemlock, and having 2 different ones is useful. I'd collect more if it was possible for me to get schematics for these very easily, but oh well. Hydra, the ever so sought after Jackal launcher, it's alright. I must have gone over the Gravedigger already. Yeah, I did. I didn't say anything about this earlier, but I want to actually say something now that I remember. I have my Gravedigger at 130 just for the quote accomplishment of that, and yes, mine is nature. Later you're going to see 2 more Gravediggers, and I don't use the Gravedigger actually. I haven't used it in a long time. Reason for that being, I don't know, it's just, I'm positive it still falls short compared to so many other weapons, so that's why I just never use it. Back to wherever I was earlier, at the Jackal launcher. Last word, lightning pistol. This is chain lightning, which I recycled my Affliction lightning pistol for a chain lightning one when I found it, just because I was like, well, that just makes it better, and it did. Now, the Lynx assault rifle, just like the Lynx ninja hero, I don't use it. The Mercury LMG, it's a lot of fun. I have a fire rate perk for no particular reason. I'm pretty sure you can also put a crit damage there instead. The Monsoon, aka the pocket minigun, really fun, but it does eat through small ammo super quickly. The Neon Sniper and the Obliterator as well, both shoot through walls and other structures. But the Neon Sniper has kind of thermal, so you can kind of see enemies through walls and terrain. Really fun, both of which are great with defenders, because the defenders can also shoot through walls, but the Obliterator does more damage overall, I'm pretty sure. The quad launcher, I think it falls short compared to a lot of other explosive weapons, being only 12,000 damage, but still really fun, with the fire affliction that it leaves on the ground. The Razor Blade is a very basic burst assault rifle, but I love it. The Riptide is like a scavenger variant of the Thrasher, I think, but it's a bit weaker maybe. I don't really remember, but I actually like this weapon, so I keep it around. Siegebreaker is a very basic assault rifle. Most Battle Royale players will know it as the Legendary Scar, or Scar in general, I guess. Legendary or Epic. Then you'll see I have these 2 Silent Spectres, a Fire and a Nature, and down here a Water Element one. Then I have the Spyglass. This is like the old Betsy that I have somewhere above at 130, except the Spyglass it's basically just an old Betsy, but with a scope. I don't know how different they are, if at all, but I like both weapons. Then I have a Stampede. Still a very basic shotgun, but I love it. I think it's the same as I think it's very similar to the Huskbuster, except the Huskbuster shotgun is a scavenger weapon, so it's cheaper. I have two Swans, which is ironic considering how much I don't use one of them. I have the Bear, very basic pump action shotgun, but I love it. These two Art Deco shotguns. This is the beginning. I plan on getting the other elements for the Big Shot and the other elements for the Brush Off. The Cleaner, the Cyclops, the Grunt. Not a huge fan of this weapon, but it's alright. The Jabberwocky is basically the chaotic cannonball launcher that I love. It's still physical because I don't use it that much, but it's really funny. The Turncoat's a very basic pistol, but I love it. Thumper's a very basic grenade launcher, but considering it doesn't use 3 rockets per shot, it's really good. Tiger's basic not thermal. It's thermal in BR, but not thermal in Save the World. Basic scoped assault rifle. I really like it. I was actually kind of blown away because I thought it sucked. The Trash Cannon is a scavenger variant of the base game bazooka, but I use this just because it's cheaper and I don't have the base game bazooka right now. Two-Step is a fun shotgun despite being kind of like a double shot. Still really fun. The Typewriter, it's probably surprising that I don't use this. I like it, but the most I pull this out is like when I'm doing some large period of time, like a week or two, where I don't use anything but off-meta weapons. And I do that for entertainment. That's why I use the Two-Step, the Typewriter, and some of these other weapons. The V6 launcher is another weapon that doesn't use 3 rockets per shot, so it's really fun. And I actually like it overall. Sounds like a real engine, like a V6 engine. The Videotech Blazer and the Pulsar, I like both these weapons. They are bursts, but they're fun. And the Whisper 45. Suppressed pistol, but it's really great. I love that it says shh on the side of it because it's suppressed. Now, after this, nothing down here really matters a ton, at least at the moment. But, you know, I'm still going to go over a few things that I think are notable. Desert Blaster, I don't use it much. The Ghost Pistol, I'm not a huge fan of, but I still want to level it up. There's the aforementioned 2 other Gravediggers, Fire and Water. I'm waiting until the Gravedigger comes back next year to buy an energy one. Yes, I do not plan on using a weapon voucher on it. That is a waste. I consider it wasteful just because when a weapon like the Gravedigger comes back every Halloween, you don't need to use a weapon voucher. You could just wait until Halloween. 1,680 gold is not a lot. Like considering the rate of missions you play per year, you make a lot of gold, especially if you don't spend any of it. You're going to make way more than 1.6k. Nonetheless, the Ralphie's Revenge, I wanted this. I don't use it. My Snowball Launcher, I used to have a 106 one, but last time this came back, I recycled the 106 one, bought a new one, and just left it at 77. The irony is that this is going to end up at 106, probably. The Instigator, both this and the Compression Burster may be the only 2 bows that I don't have leveled up. Then I have these Founder's Weapons. These are just, they're not special or anything. The double element is actually just the worst way to roll them. I did it for a joke, and then I found that my Founder's Vendetta can do it too. And I'm not going to do that. Then I found out I could actually change this for some reason. So I might be able to do something nuts with the Founder's Vendetta. If I ever decide to do anything with any of these, I might have to make a video on it because that'll be the only way I'll possibly do anything with them. The Blue Spectre, this is just a fun weapon and a cheap weapon, being only 5 ore and 18 mechanical parts. Overall kind of fun. Crossbow isn't important to me because I have the Heartbreaker and it's probably the same, if not better. And so on, so on. Oh yeah, the Night Owl is the other bow that I don't have. All this stuff is just duplicates, extra weapons, or stuff that I never leveled up. Jack's Revenge I used to have leveled up, but last time I came back I recycled the one that I didn't use because I want to kind of just get a reset on it. So if I ever want to use it again, I can just level up a new one instead of working with my old one. Now melees, which I didn't go over the first time. Nothing crazy, there's a lot less melees, but you can see I have both the Storm King melees maxed out, and then I have a Arcane Axe. This is for crit hit explosions. You'll see that a lot, or at least quite a few times throughout some of these weapons. My double attack speed Spectral Blade. This is, I think, one of the better swords in the game. It's one of my favorite, at least, aside from the Ravager and the Stormblade. Nonetheless, the Stormblade is kind of only here for the crit hit explosions, but I do really like how this weapon looks. The Supersonic Slasher is a weapon that I didn't particularly like. Then I found out I could have crit hit explosions, and now I love it. It has purple perks because this is actually the first crit hit explosions weapon that I had ever leveled up, and I don't know why I have 2 crit damage perks. It's better to run on attack speed, but I think because I couldn't get an attack speed. Yeah, actually that's it, I couldn't get an attack speed. That makes sense. The Surround Pound, I have this still physical because Mythic Storm King, but like I said, I don't run Mythic Storm King, so I just leave this physical anyways. The Astrobat's a fun weapon, but I don't think it's like something top tier meta. Moving on, Corsair, fun sword, even though I never use it. Dragon's Fang is alright. Ear Split is pretty awesome. The Fishing Hook is only here for the crit hit explosions. Aside from that, it's probably not that great. Guardian's Will is a really fun sword. Sir Lancelot is like the heavy attack for charging enemies. It's like Bull Rush for non-constructors, and you can use it to stop a Smasher that's charging. Super useful. Stabsworth III is possibly one of my favorite melees in the game, even though I don't use it that often anymore. I do have 2 attack speed perks. Technically, the Epic Rarity Founders variant, which is the Founders Night Cleave, is still way better considering that it can have, I think, 3 or 4 attack speed perks, and it's insane. The Steam Thrasher is here mostly just because I really like the heavy attack spam on it. Great Axby. The Heavyweight, I haven't used these a ton, so I don't have much to say. The Killjoy is a fantastic sword in my opinion, and I would love to get the various element versions for these so I can get all of them, just like I did with the Floor Flusher, and just like I'm planning with the other shotguns. And the other Art Deco weapons. The reason why you didn't see the Sniper and the Pistol and the Launcher because I didn't level them up. I have unleveled up copies. I love the Tree of Light for its stunning 6th perk for 8 hits. It's incredible, and I love it. The Walloper is not a great combat weapon, so I use it for heavy attack only. You can see I've rolled 3 heavy attack energy efficiency perks, and I couldn't get a 4th one, obviously, but it would have been hilarious if I could. Founder's Skullcleave is just like the other Founder's weapons, where I rolled double element as a joke, but only the top element perk here, which is Nature, actually makes an effect. Then, of course, down all the way at tier 2 and silver, my level 46 epic rarity movement speed Baron. Now, I didn't level this up because the weapon's power level makes no effect on the perks, technically, for movement speed at least. And with that being said, I only use this for movement speed, so having the 3 legendary movement speed perks works well enough regardless of the level. Well, I guess the level would only matter if the perks are even unlocked, and in this case they are. Now after this, nothing here really matters. Most of these are duplicates or unleveled up weapons, like the Reaper Scythe, which has crit hit explosions. I want to play with that eventually. The Black Blade, this isn't the one that came out this Halloween, this is the one from a year ago. I never used. The Lead Sled, never used it. I bought a 2nd Surround Pound and I forgot when I did that. And I don't remember why I wanted to, if anything. And yeah, so that's all for melees. For traps, I'm not going to go over everything, but I have just about everything. An extra sound wall and a lower rarity in which I use for jail building as well. Like I said, only in private. And then I have the unleveled up ceiling zapper, which has absolutely no purpose. Any scenario where you'd want to use a ceiling zapper, you could actually be smarter and use the ceiling electric field, I'm pretty sure. Unless someone who's more knowledgeable can come up with a reason that the ceiling zapper might be more useful, or useful for any scenarios, please let me know in the comments, because I've never seen a use for this. So what else was I actually going to cover? The amount of gold that I have, I guess. Well, that was in resources. I can't even afford another Fortnite Mirrors llama. There's my 5 legendary troll stash llamas. These aren't important to showcase. I don't think these matter right now. I guess I could showcase locker. I'm not going to do my presets because incredibly disorganized. Not going to go over everything in too much detail, but you know, I'm going to kind of scroll down and you can see everything. Now, most of my skins are Battle Pass. Here are my favorited ones, by the way. These are just skins that I use very often, or ones that I really like, such as Toxic Trooper. I'm still waiting for Hazard Agent. And yes, I bought Mecha Morty for no reason. I think the only thing is, like, I like Rick and Morty, and having Rick in the game, it's like, I was really hoping they would do another character from Rick and Morty. Then when Mecha Morty got leaked, I was excited for that. I bought him when he first came out, and I don't think I used him that much after 2 or 3 missions. And just a notable thing, Lara Croft from the Chapter 2 Season 6 Battle Pass, I would have, like, it would have been stupid of me not to buy this as a Tomb Raider fan, because it's just such an incredible, like, thing to have in the game. Even like a classic, like, PlayStation 2 Lara. The only thing that could have made this better is if it was super low poly, just like how it would have looked on a PlayStation 2. But I don't know. I'm a Tomb Raider fan, so it would have been dumb of me not to want this. I'm also a Marvel and DC fan, so that's why I have a lot of Marvel and DC stuff. Well, way more Marvel stuff. DC didn't get a full battle pass. And I own both Harley Quinns. Additionally, I have the Eternal Knight maxed out. I have the Founders exclusive Warpaint and Rose Team Leader, as well as their additional cosmetics. I have the Founders Umbrella and Glider as well, but I'm not going to bother showcasing gliders and contrails. I have the Double Agents pack. I more recently bought the Crypt Crashers bundle. And yeah, so that's kind of about it. I also bought Jawbreaker very recently. Skin that I really liked, like various times when I see it in the shop, but I never bought it for some reason. And then now, like, I had 3,000 V-Bucks and was like, I may as well. So I did. One more mention. I have never, ever seen anyone else use Stingray. Yeah, I've never seen someone use Stingray in an actual match or in a YouTube video either. And I don't know, I really like this skin. Really cool, like, very scary looking guy wearing a, like, all black kind of military-ish outfit. Looks like he could go into an enemy, like, base and eliminate everyone without even breaking a sweat. Additionally, here, back blings, nothing crazy. These are mostly challenge stuff or come from item shop skins or battle pass skins. But yeah, nothing super exciting. These are the last 30 days, and these are favorited. Mostly what I have favorited are just things that go with the skins that I use often, like the Dimensional Gate backbling for Raven, or the Survivors pack for Lara. Yeah, nothing too like exciting or incredible. As for pickaxes, these are usually Battle Pass things, challenge things, or I buy them from the item shop if they go with the skins that I really like that were also in the shop. See, I don't have anything like crazy, nothing insane, and I don't like buy specifically pickaxes from the item shop because I actually care more about skins in general. My favorited pickaxes are mostly just the things that I use often, as well as the Save the World exclusive pickaxes, which, no surprise, I have every single one of them, as well as the aforementioned Warpaint and Rose Team Leader pickaxes. I have their gliders too. Not going to go over gliders and contrails because A, I'm too lazy to switch to BR and they have no purpose to a Save the World player like me. Jeez, that is way louder than I thought it would be. Emotes, still nothing interesting. I don't really buy emotes that often. These are all Battle Pass and challenge stuff. Very rarely I buy emotes, and that's only if I really like them. Like, where is it? I'm never gonna find it. That's everything. All the spray paints, emotes, emoticons, all that. The last 30 days. I do also have the Lab Expert spray paint from the lab dungeon. I think this was like a challenge for completing in a 140 zone, you get it. Favorite emotes are just the ones that I use often or the ones that I think are funny, like all these toys like the bottle flip or the basketball or the traversal things like the llama pogo stick or the UFO. The hand-forged emote from the current Battle Pass is also pretty cool. And I love how it actually switches your pickaxe to the sword. I bought this because I thought it looked cool. It's ironic because I don't own any of the other Star Wars stuff. And of course, this was amazing. This was V-Bucks well spent right here. Nobody asked about music packs. Obviously, that's why I'm going to show off how much I don't use. I have music off. And even then, I only used Eerie, OG Classic, Unreal Chill, and Stand and Fight. Very, very rarely I actually used some of these other ones. The favorite ones are just the ones that I think are interesting. Like the Storm King, the Dungeons, and Frost Knight. Both of these two are from Save the World. I don't remember what this one's from. Or I don't remember if this was even a Save the World specific thing. And that's about it. I'm not showing off the loading screens, and that's because nobody wants to see that. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like and comment down below. Your feedback in the comments is super highly appreciated, and I'm out.